Standing by a young man who has been in the news a great deal of late, Dr. Cade Brumley. Dr. Cade Brumley, who you tell us you're the center of attention lately. What's the latest? What's the deal?
Well, I try to be my wife's center of attention. That's usually priority number one for me.
Good plan.
Well, what is priority number 2 today?
Well, as you guys know, recently was appointed superintendent in Jefferson Parish, which is the largest system in the state of Louisiana, about 50,000 kids spread among 90 schools. So, if contract negotiations are successful, I think the word challenge would be an understatement.
The salary is above $200,000. Is that one of the negotiating points, I guess, for you?
Well, I think, all of that has to be worked out with the board and something that we can all agree to. Of course, you'll have salary issues in there as well as term of contract and expectations. So all of that just has to be something that both sides can agree to.
What if DeSoto were to match? Would you stay?
Yeah, I asked them from the beginning, whenever this came about, to not entertain ideas like that. I have thoroughly enjoyed my work in DeSoto Parish. The school community here has been so good to me and my family for the last decade, and even in accepting this new role, it's bittersweet for me. I'm a Northwest Louisiana guy, and I'm actually a little surprised they let a Northwest Louisiana guy cross I-10 and do work down there, but we'll see what happens.
Now, you said something interesting a second or two ago. You said expectations. You are a man who has a history of setting and meeting and, let's be blunt, exceeding his own high expectations. What are those if the whole Jefferson Parish thing works out?
Well, I don't know. The expectations go both ways. So obviously the board would have expectations of me, and I'm going to have expectations of the board. I have a really good setup right now. I have a great board, a great leadership team. We have great talent in our schools and a supportive community. And so, I just have to be certain that board is willing to keep the main thing, which is student opportunity and student achievement.
I guess what I meant was, what are Cade Brumley's expectations if this flies, so to speak? What are Dr. Cade's expectations of Dr. Cade's as you look at that situation?
Oh, yeah. Well, obviously, let me take that back. I never expected to apply for another superintendency. I just didn't. But when this came about, and you're looking at the impact of 50,000 kids in a system, the largest system in the state, and you think about, if we can take a game plan that we feel has been successful here and, make adjustments to make that what it needs to be in Jefferson, the opportunities are just so profound to make tremendous impact on the state of Louisiana. If in Jefferson, if you raise the cohort graduation rate by even 10%, you're talking about 500 additional Louisianians every year who are gaining a high school degree. And what does that do for the quality of life in our state? It can only help.
Dr. Cade Brumley, DeSoto Superintendent, now headed for Jefferson. What is your message to Jefferson Parish teachers this morning?
Well, I would just say that if this goes through, you have a teacher in the superintendent's office. I'm someone that knows the rubber meets the road in the classroom. I'm going to do everything that I can do to make sure that teachers have acceptable school leadership. They feel valued and can hone their craft, and if they have a compensation package that makes sense. Everything that a school system does should be about creating that magical moment between a teacher and a kid where learning can materialize.
And your message to parents who have students in that system?
I would tell parents, first and foremost, student safety is my top responsibility. I wake up thinking about that every single day. And so they would just need to know that I intend to do everything I can to keep their kids safe. And beyond that, student learning is my top priority.
How soon would you start, Cade?
All of that will have to be worked out through this contract process, but I would make sure that I give certainly professional notice here with DeSoto Parish and also assist with transitioning here.
You said something interesting a couple of seconds ago. Well, earlier on, you said, can't believe they let a Northwest Louisiana boy south of I-10. Sort of a two-parter here. What do you think? I mean, we all up here know what it is you bring to the table, especially the folks in DeSoto. What do you think it was about you that made them want that Northwest Louisiana boy south of I-10? And do you, as not being from there, do you anticipate any trouble, any problems, any reticence to accept you with open arms?
Yeah, what I shared with them, and they asked that question, the public asked that same question, and what I shared essentially was, you guys are right to ask the question, but I don't think anyone who knows me and works with me would feel that we could not be successful together. It will certainly be a shift for me. It will certainly be a challenge for me, but I think that what was attractive to that board and that community was our results. We've had tremendous results up here, and along with that, I think that people throughout the state know that I'm someone who tries to innovate, tries to do things in the best ability that I have, and do things for kids, and I've tried to always be fair.